What is up, guys? Rob here with Bob Evans Classics. I got a gorgeous 1969 Chevy Camaro up for sale today. This thing is beautiful, guys. We are going to do a full walkthrough of this vehicle. It is for sale. We're going to go over the good, the bad, and if there's any ugly, so you know exactly what you get before you get it. We're going to go panel by panel, dent by dent, and scratch by scratch if there's any. Guys, remember, we are the home of free shipping on all classic cars. If you buy any car from us, we will ship it to your doorstep for free in the lower 48. And if you're shipping international, we will get it to any port in the United States for free. Also, we have financing, credit score of 620 or above. Guys, do me a favor, subscribe. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see me buy classic cars and watch as I sell them. Hit the subscribe button. I want to grow YouTube. We are mostly posting to Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, and it comes here last. So subscribe. If we get a lot of followers here, we have about 800,000 across our social media. And Facebook, we only have 60,000. If you subscribe, I will make this our priority and post the cars here first. If you'd like to see the cars here first, type in the comment first. Let's go ahead and get started, guys. First things first, again, if you've been following our page, we do not buy cars from the auction. We buy cars from the public, and we buy them from private owners, so we kind of know the history on them. This car came out from a little town in Pennsylvania called Dillsburg. Previous owner was Bob. Bob was a big part of the community in Dillsburg. This car's been through shows. I promised the owner's daughter that I will pass their information to the next owner. This car meant a lot to that town. It's got a lot of history. I heard that he was a good person and he was a big part of the community in Dillsburg, Pennsylvania. So his mother owned the car and she was the original owner of this vehicle. So it's been in the same family since new. It's got right now a 383 stroker in it. 4-speed manual. It's got the vinyl top, beautiful color. The overall condition on this car is very good. Couple little flaws which I will show you, but overall solid car. It's got a beautiful cam in it. It's got nice tires, nice wheels. Just a solid car, guys. We'll give it the paint test. You can see my reflection real good in it. Got a little bit of orange peel previously whenever it was painted. I would recommend cutting and buffing this paint. I think if you cut and buff, you can see my face in it. Go here off to the side. Pretty good. If you cut and buff this paint, I think right now it's probably an 8. You can probably make this paint an 8.5, maybe a 9 out of 10. I love the stripe on it. It does have 327 badges on it. In 69, 327 did not come as an SS, so I believe it's not an SS unless somebody added the badges on it. I'll show you the cal tag. It is not the original engine for sure, we know that. Again, this was his mom's car, so he turned this and made it into a fast car. He was an elderly guy, so she bought a brand new in the 60s. Interior is nice, which I will show you, and the vinyl top is nice. But getting back to our normal paint is, like I said, 8 out of 10. You can easily make this a 10 out of, not a 10 out of 10, but a 9 out of 10. It's a very, very good looker. The door test. Door felt really heavy just now as I opened it. Let me go back and reopen it. It feels like a nice solid door. Go ahead and give it the close. I went super light. It closed fine. I'll go medium. Closes good. You don't need to slam it. I'll go light again. The hinge is good. Okay, the gap. Gap on this side is nice. A little bit, I would say a little bit here, wider than up here, and you can see that. Not terrible, not super noticeable, nothing crazy. One thing I will say, from the factory when these cars were produced in 69, they weren't perfect cars. They weren't done like they are today with robots. Everything was on the assembly line. So I just nitpick cars because I just want to point out every single thing. This side, again, same thing, a little bit hot, a little bit tighter here, a little bit wider there. And that's mostly normal. I don't see anything crazy. It's not like a huge gap where it's very noticeable. Again, I don't think a lot of these cars were even from the factory. Looking down the body line looks beautiful on this car. Very good. I don't notice anything out of the ordinary from the body line perspective. Let's look back here on this quarter. Now, I don't see any Bond or anything, but I will say this is the worst part of the whole car. So there's a little crack in the paint here. So it's previously had some type of work. Again, most of these cars have. What I look for is noticeable things. I look for big Bondo patches, which I don't see anything on this car. Okay, bottom of the fender. Bottom of the fender looks good. Top of the fender looks good. I notice a little imperfection in the clear. You can see it barely there. And at the right angle, you can see a little bit on the hood. Again, nice polish and buff, I think, would make this car real nice. Up front looks good. A little bit darker spot here. Let's see if we can get a light out. Bumper looks good. Good. This is one of the biggest flaws. That back part I showed you and right here. A little bit on the hood. That's it. That's pretty much the majority of it. Front end looks good. Let's look at the gaps. So gap, it opens up here a little bit. It's a little bit wider down there. And it's about the same. I like because this way is about the same as this side. So it fits really good. Besides it coming down, the gap get a little bit wider in the bottom. I think this fits really good. I think the placement's good on it. So you can see up here, it looks good. For sure. Guys, this is a solid car. I will say that, especially it being in the same family since new. I would not be embarrassed to drive this car. I would actually enjoy it, love it, cherish it. Some of these cars, I'll be honest with you, I get them in, I get them out. They don't mean much to me. This car has a nice little story to it, and I wouldn't be mad if it doesn't sell and I just drive it around. Tires new. Brand new BF Goodrich tires. It's got rallies. They look new. Check on this side. Same difference, new. Fender looks good. Let's look down the body line. Body looks good. Cool. Rest of the fender's good. Nothing at the bottom. Nothing at all. Nothing on the door. This gap, same thing. A little bit wider here. Okay, so the rest of the door is good. So this is nice and tight all the way. It's about the same. So just on that side of the door. This door is a little bit better placement than the other one. Okay, it shuts much harder. So this hinge here, not the best. I would say it needs to be greased up. Yeah, you gotta definitely push it harder. Okay, so this one you gotta push a little bit harder. I do notice a little bit of flaking too. Here, this is all solid, just a little bit of flaking. Probably had a previous repair. That looks good, looks good. This quarter looks good. Definitely gotta shut that door a little bit harder than the other one. Vinyl top looks good. You got one little spot here. You can see right there. No bubbling on the top, which is good. Glass looks good. Right here, I would want to replace this. Your rubber is gone there. Back looks good. No cracks there. Quarter looks good. Car definitely sits beautiful. Back end looks nice. Bumper looks good. Not a fan. Well, I should say this is a kill switch here. Not a fan of it. But nonetheless, you know it's there. Okay. Gap here versus gap here. Similar, a little bit bigger on the left side. A little bit more of a gap there, but the trunk does sit good. It sits nice and flush. What you guys like? Orange, green? What do you prefer? That orange is pretty rad. But I think I like this green. Little flaw in the paint here, you can see. Barely see it. Love the SS badges on it. I love the way this car looks. Definitely. And like I said, this is the biggest flaw in the car. But yeah, guys, that's it. Overall, real solid looking car on the outside. I would definitely say this one on the outside, it's probably 8 out of 10. And mechanically, what the guy did to it, at least an 8. Overall, a real nice driver. This is a driver that you can take to shows easily. Got your battery back here. Looks all solid. That looks good. Let's see if we get a light in here. Boom. Looks good there. Looks good there. Beautiful. Up there. Good. Climb under the car real quick while I'm back here. Nice shot of the rear end. Rear suspension. Undercarriage is clean. It's another reason why I like this car so much. It doesn't look like it was modified. Doesn't look like they did much to it. Try to buy cars that are clean on the undercarriage as much as they're clean on top. It's one of the things I go for. It's what makes me happy, is stuff like this. Cool. Looks good for sure. And now to see the crown jewel. One thing I will say too, it was parked over here. I don't see much oil at all. I mean, you have one little spot and the oil looks fresh. A lot of times these cars leak all kinds of stuff. This one does not. Not at all. Very little. Which is good to see. Whoa. And this is where this car really shines. Is under the hood. 383 stroker. This thing is so clean. Inner fenders were removed. But all the suspension looks good. I mean, looks like disc brakes in the front. This thing stops on a dime. Get your tag here. Looks like it's an X11 car. Yeah, MSD ignition. It's real nice. Moving on to the interior. Interior mostly looks original. A little bit of wear here. Carpet is green to match, and it looks like original carpet. Doesn't look terrible. He did put this bar in it. I would probably recommend to paint this just for an aesthetic look. You got, looks like original seats, but they were upgraded. It's got these seat belts in it. Definitely not the original shifter, that's for sure. You got a tack right here. Water temperature, oil temperature. You got an aftermarket fans and stuff. Let's grab the keys real quick. And we'll fire it up. Ice cold start. This is it, guys. Real quick, like a little bit of wear right here on the seat. This is a cold start. Let's see if she gives us a problem or not. I don't see any smoke or nothing. I don't want to rev it up too much because it is a cold start. Okay, horn does not work. Turn signal works. Other one works. Four-speed manual. All right, guys, up for sale now. BobEvansClassics.com. Give us a call or go on our website. Appreciate you checking out our page. God bless the USA, guys. It's up for sale now. This is a nice one. Love this car, guys. Talk to you later.